We interrupt our regularly scheduled program for this special presentation of Inter Miami Soccer on ESPN 106.3. The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3.
Messi in the box. Shoots!
This is the Inter Miami pregame show, live from the ESPN West Palm studios. Here's Mike Rizzo.
We're coming to you live from M&T Bank Stadium. We are expecting a sold-out crowd here in Baltimore. Welcome on in, folks, to your Inter Miami radio network. Our Inter Miami Herons coming up with match day 3 against the nation's capital, DC United. Our Inter Miami Herons are fresh off of their presidential tour of the White House with President Donald Trump. It was a great day for the Herons as they were giving gifts to the president. And let's see if Lionel Messi could get goal number 900 on his career. Messi has 898 goals heading into this fixture in Baltimore. And if he secures 2 goals, that'll be 900 total goals in his career. Remember, Lionel Messi started in the youth academy at La Masia with Barcelona. Then he had his legendary career with Barcelona, made the move to PSG, and now he is with our Inter Miami Herons. So 3 stops for Lionel Messi. 898 goals is the number. Let's see if Messi could get a brace today and break that on your Inter Miami radio network. Once again, we are live from M&T Bank Stadium. We are expecting 71,000 strong. Inter Miami did manage to sign a left back. This is Cesar Abadia-Rita. And he came from the Inter Miami CF2 squad. Abadia-Rita has been with the club since 2023. He is 20 years old, and he will be available for today's fixture. Inter Miami going with a 4-2-3-1. Noah Allen, Mikael, Maxi Falcone, and Facundo Mora is the back line. Yannick Bright, Rodrigo DePaul, the 2 DMs. Matteo Silvetti, Lionel Messi, Talasco Segovia, your midfielders, and Herman Berterame, the lone striker up top. Can Messi get 900 goals? We'll find out right here on your Inter Miami Radio Network coming up next.
College basketball is heating up and the tournament is almost here. Don't let your home get caught off guard. Get ready now with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can get 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the court, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS has been the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSIsyes.com today. Stay cool and be ready before the madness hits.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit 1 checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs. Automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with George Teixeira, partner and practice leader of Anshin's Financial Services Group.
When launching a private investment fund, proper structuring could mean the difference between high tax bills and smart tax savings. The new One Big Beautiful Bill Act permanently extends the 20% deduction on qualified business income, makes favorable changes to exclusions of gains of qualified small business stock, and brings back full expensing on capital investments. For fund managers, this means new opportunities to reduce taxable income and improve cash flow. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we specialize in building tax-efficient structures that help funds and their investors make the right decisions today for greater success tomorrow. If you are launching a fund in this new environment, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
The James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational is underway at the iconic Old Course at Broken Sound in Boca Raton. Watch NFL greats like Calvin Johnson, Lawrence Taylor, and returning champion Tim Brown compete alongside PGA champions tour stars including Patrick Harrington, Darren Clark, and two-time major champion Zach Johnson. Tickets are available through March 8th at JamesHardyInvitational.com. That's James, H-A-R-D-I-E, Invitational.com. This is more than a tournament. It's the home of legends.
Hey, ref, time out, man. All right, team, we're only down by 5. We can still win this. Grab some water and get back out there. Whoa, not that water. You need Culligan water. With the free water test and advanced reverse osmosis purification system, Culligan helps reduce contaminants, delivering cleaner, safer, better tasting water. Enjoy 12 months interest-free. Schedule your free test today at Culligan.com. Serving all of South Florida, residential or commercial.
Hey, Culligan man! When you see the pink smoke.
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Now let's get to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Live at M&T Bank Stadium as our Inter Miami Herons are taking on DC United. Fresh off of their presidential White House tour with President Donald Trump. Fresh off of a big-time win in the Florida Derby against Orlando, where Lionel Messi had 2 goals and an assist and willed our Inter Miami Herons to a 4-2 victory in Orlando. But as I mentioned, DC United is the opponent today. We gave you your Inter Miami starting lineups last segment. Let's get you DC United. Now, DC United, a couple of things. They're rolling with a 4-4-2. They did it their first 2 games of the season as well. They're liking the dual strike partnership of Ty Baribo and Jackson Hopkins. Now, there's only been 1 goal scored for DC United this season, but it did come in a big-time win against defending Supporter Shield champion, the Philadelphia Union. And the ironic part about it is that Ty Baribo, who played for Philadelphia last year and was a part of the Supporter Shield winning team, he scored the decisive goal for DC United to win. And it's been the only goal for the season for DC United because they ended up losing to Austin FC last Sunday. So DC United rolling into this game, similar to our Inter Miami Herons, sitting at 1-1. Head coach Renee Weiler for DC United, if you remember, he took over in August of 2025 after DC United sacked their manager mid-season after a very disappointing year. So Renee Weiler, the Swiss manager, trying to find his footing this year. And I think what Inter Miami is going to be doing today is locking in on the striker, Ty Baribo. Baribo was up there on the Golden Boot lists last year. He was a dangerous goal scorer for the Philadelphia Union, and he does have a goal, as I mentioned already, this season. But today, in my opinion, folks, 71,000 strong here at M&T Bank Stadium to see if Lionel Messi can score his 900th goal of his entire world football career. I mentioned Barcelona, PSG, and now Inter Miami spread across 3 clubs. But Lionel Messi, one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest player of all time, is drawing a huge crowd everywhere he goes with that record on the line. Now, Inter Miami is going to be very healthy for this fixture. Sergio Reguilon, who we expected to be out until late March, darn near early April with that knee injury. He did not need surgery. Good news for Sergio Reguilon, who was signed this offseason to replace the great Jordi Alba, who hung up the boots. But he is going to be the only player unavailable for Inter Miami in this fixture. Let's do the starting lineups again, and let's start with DC United because we haven't gotten there yet. They're going with that 4-4-2. Kazuki Kurakawa, Kyle Rolls, Lucas Bartlett, and Sylvan Hefty. That is the back line for DC United. And then in the midfield from left to right, you got Peglo, Matty Peltola, Brandon Servania, and Gabriel Pirani. And then the dual strike partnership up top for DC United, as I mentioned, Ty Baribo and Jackson Hopkins. For Inter Miami, they're going with a 4-2-3-1. I mentioned numerous times on the broadcast that I like when head coach Javier Mascherano goes with the 4-4-2, but clearly Coach Mascherano sees something with the 4-2-3-1 that he really likes, because Inter Miami will be starting with that formation for the third game in a row. From left to right, you got Noah Allen, Mikael, Maxi Falcone, and Facundo Mora on the back line. Your two defensive midfielders, Rodrigo De Paul, Yannick Bright, and then the attackers. 4 attackers, Talasco Segovia, Lionel Messi, Matteo Silvetti, and Herman Berterame. Just a reminder, your pregame show here on your Inter Miami Radio Network is brought to you by your local South Florida Audi dealers. We all know that feeling, a change of pace, an unexpected curve, a new opportunity. Instead of overthinking, what if you just said yes? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer is easy, folks. The Q3 is made for the S-Life, with the power and room to handle whatever pops up. Yes to adventure, yes to escape, yes to right now, because saying yes without hesitation, that is real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the S-Life. Learn more at AudiUSA.com. Extra Time is also brought to you by your local South Florida Audi dealer, and obviously we'll get to that later on in the program. But we are about to kick off here at M&T Bank Stadium, a sold-out M&T Bank Stadium, 71,000 strong, ready to see if Lionel Messi can get to 900. The referee for today's matchup for match day 3 between Inter Miami and DC United in the nation's capital is Filip Ducic. Filip Ducic, a very experienced referee, someone we know well as Inter Miami fans. But this is a massive crowd, folks. You would think that Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens are playing a game today, and we are underway here in the nation's capital as DC United gets things rolling. I mentioned DC United 1-1 on the year. Same with our Inter Miami Herons. DC United in Inter Miami territory early, near side touchline. Here is Pirani, won by Rodrigo De Paul and Inter Miami. The Herons are on the run, inching closer to midfield. Now far side touchline to Matteo Silvetti. Silvetti in DC United territory, inching closer to the box. Silvetti plays it to that far side touchline again to Noah Allen, and now Allen will recycle to the defense. A 4-4-2 for DC United, and that 4-2-3-1 for our Inter Miami Herons. The two DMs, Yannick Bright and Rodrigo De Paul. Rodrigo De Paul, by the way, in that last fixture against Orlando for our Herons, he had the most touches in the game and the most touches around the opponent's box. I think it was arguably one of Rodrigo's better games wearing pink, and that's saying a lot. Our Herons battling out of their defense right now, trying to probe and find a way to breach the DC United defense. It is 55 degrees and a bit of clouds. I got family up north. I'm from up north. They were saying how nice of a day it was. They got shorts and a T-shirt on in 50 degrees. That one is going to be out of bounds near side touchline. Facundo Mora tried to play a ball near the box to Lionel Messi, but it rolls out of bounds. 1:33-1:34 played in the first half, 0-0 DC United and our Inter Miami Herons. And now a long through ball looking for Herman Berterame in the box, but that one is gloved down by Sean Johnson. Sean Johnson, by the way, the goalkeeper for DC United, and Dane St. Clair getting the start for our Inter Miami Herons. Met your mercy on that. Sean Johnson, the goalkeeper for DC United, the American, and Dane St. Clair, the Canadian, and 2025 goalkeeper of the year, the keeper for our Herons today. Bad pass by DC United, intercepted by Rodrigo De Paul and the Herons. Messi hits a touch right outside of the box. He tried playing in Talasco Segovia, and that one was thwarted away, but our Herons back on it on the defensive side. Mikael now has it. Far side touchline to Noah Allen. 2:26, 2:27 played, 0-0 DC United and our Inter Miami Herons in the nation's capital. Maxi Falcone going on a bit of a run. He stumbles to the ground. No foul call, and DC's on the run. Near side touchline. This is Peglow. Peglow plays it up top to Jackson Hopkins, who forgot the ball. Now our Inter Miami Herons are back on it. Dane St. Clair calming down the nerves. Noah Allen, Segovia. 2-man 2-ball with Segovia and Allen. Cold weather, I don't think is a thing with our Inter Miami Herons. I think the likes of Lionel Messi and company who have been on the team are used to elements, but 55 degrees, one of the colder games our Herons have played so far. 3-18, 3-19. DC United with it in their own half. Our Herons throwing a press on real quick. This is Bartlett now making a cut inside, and he'll play it back to the goalkeeper, Sean Johnson. The Herons press working right now is now Rodrigo DePaul on the ball on Sylvan Hefty. Hefty with a nifty move, tried finding Peglow up towards the byline, but intercepted by our Herons. Now 50-50 balls all over the place. Sloppy play. DC United on top of the ball with Matty Peltola, and a foul. This one's going to go against Yannick Bright. Head referee Philippe Ducic blows his whistle, keeps his cards in his pocket. And 4:03, first foul of the game, first free kick. Going to go quick is DC. This is Kirikawa. Kirikawa playing a long through ball, looking for one of his strikers, Baribo or Hopkins, but Maxi Falcone able to swat that one away. Lionel Messi ends up with it, trying playing a quick through ball into Herman Bertarame behind the defense, but Sean Johnson able to settle it. DC United now in their own territory, inching closer to the midfield mark. Good pass there to Servania, but our Herons there, and it actually goes off of a DC United player. That one is out of bounds. Throw in for the Herons. They'll play it back to the fence, and the recycling process begins. Here's Falcone. Near side touchline, Facundo Mora. Mora getting his second start in 3 games this season for Inter Miami. He is playing right back tonight. Ian Frey will be available off the bench. Facundo Mora now. Inter Miami trying to probe out of the defense, presses on for DC with the strikers Baribo and Hopkins. Inching up closer for DC as well is Brandon Servania, as now we're near side touchline to Mora. Rodrigo DePaul with a nifty move. He gets space. Is he going to get this into Bertarame and ultimately thwarted away by the DC United defense? It was a nifty pass by Rodrigo DePaul. Almost had Herman Bertarame through on defense between the center backs, Raul and Bartlett. But Bartlett with a last-ditch tackle able to thwart the pass away. 5:45 played in the first half. 0-0 DC United and our Inter Miami Herons at M&T Bank Stadium. Maxi Falcone plays it to Mikael. Now to Allen. Allen inching closer to midfield. Plays it back to Mikael. DC United digging in defensively. Inter Miami trying to probe out of their defense right now with Mikael and Falcone. DePaul goes back now. He gets the ball. 6:20, 6:21 played. Falcone near side touchline to that same near side touchline to Messi. And now right back to Falcone. DC United sitting deep. They darn near got everyone back. The strikers are back to the midfield mark. So they are digging in defensively with their head coach, Rene Weiler, in his first official season for DC United after taking over in August of 2025. Nifty pass by Glasgow Segovia, far side touchline, but Matteo Silvetti unable to get there. And in the 7th minute of the first half, we are going to have a throw-in on the far side touchline for DC United. But United defending deep right now. They're defending deep. They have their strikers, as I've mentioned, darn near to midfield. DC United this year has only given up 1 goal, and that goal came against Austin FC on the road. They did not give up a goal in their first fixture against Philadelphia. As now we have Rodrigo DePaul in a dangerous spot. Outside of the penalty arc, Lionel Messi. Messi trying to play on Berterame, forwarded away. Gotten by Segovia. Now DePaul with a shot. That one was right at Sean Johnson. But that was the first shot on target in this game. It was good link-up play between the three of Messi, Segovia, and DePaul. I wasn't sure if DePaul was going to shoot that or not. He decided to go right foot Trevela, and it was right at keeper Sean Johnson. Peglo, the Brazilian left midfielder, is slow to get up. Referee Felipe Ducic checking on him, but he looks like he's going to be okay, grimacing a bit and hobbling it off in the 8th minute of the first half. 8:06, 8:07 played in the first half. DC United and Inter Miami deadlocked at 0-0. Sean Johnson takes a free kick, gives it right to his center back, Kyle Rawls. Rawls, the Australian, tries playing a deep one. That was Gabriel Pirani trying to get to the other side of that, but Dane St. Clair settles it. Now Inter Miami has the ball in their own territory. Maxi Falcone with plenty of space plays it to Mikael. I can't stress enough how far back DC United is sitting. They're completely fine with Inter Miami center backs having the ball at that midfield circle in Inter Miami territory. Once they cross, once they make a pass, that's when they'll attack like vultures. They are playing for the counterattack early on here in the first half. And to be fair, historically, the last couple of years with Lionel Messi in the club with our Herons, that's how teams have been able to attack Inter Miami, has been winning the ball and immediately going on the attack. Yannick Bright gets a nifty pass, though, from Falcone. Can they breach this defense? And a tackle in. Now we get a whistle. That was a far side touchline tackle, a dangerous tackle by Sylvan Hefty, and a free kick is awarded. Referee Felipe Ducic does not show a card. Could have been worthy of one. Let's see the replay here. Sylvan Hefty, the Swiss man, dove right into Silvetti, got leg. No card shown in the 9th minute. Lionel Messi now has it quickly off of the free kick. Maxi Falcone now up with the attack in DC United territory, and now he plays back to Mikael, midfield circle of Inter Miami. Noah Allen crosses the halfway mark, near side touchline to Segovia, now back to Allen. 10:03, 10:04 in the first half. Near side touchline, Moore, a quick pass to Rodrigo DePaul. DePaul is in, but that offside flag is up. Flag is up. It'll be an offsides on Rodrigo DePaul. He has a conversation with head referee Felipe Ducic as Kazuki Kurakawa will throw this in for DC United. That one chested down by Yannick Bright, but won by DC. Now won by our Herons. Nifty pass to DePaul, middle of the pitch, but it's a turnover. Now a turnover by DC United. Who wants the ball? Felipe Ducic blows his whistle, and ultimately there was a foul. 50-50 balls all over the place on that sequence of football. Inter Miami early, dominating the possession numbers, 66-34. Inter Miami, our Herons, they're a very possession-oriented team. And I think with this specific formation, the 4-2-3-1, that's what Coach Mascherano wants. He wants the Herons to have the ball. He wants the likes of Rodrigo DePaul and Yannick Bright, the two DMs, to be working together and calling out counterattacks and making passes. We did see DePaul, though. DePaul's been up with the attack a lot today, as now he is back on the ball. A quick 2-man 2-ball with him and Messi. That pass thwarted. Good job there by Matty Peltola. Now near side touchline, DC United's got a little bit of life here. Near side touchline, Kurakawa still going, but a good tackle by Bright. Kurakawa was looking for Ty Baribo. Good stop and start by Maxi Falcone, but that one rolls out of bounds near side touchline. I believe that is going to be a DC United throw-in, as yes, Felipe Ducic orders Maxi Falcone to give that football to Ty Baribo. Baribo ultimately gives it to his fullback, Kazuki Kurakawa, to throw in. We got a near side touchline throw-in for Kurakawa in the 12th minute. They're always dangerous near the box, as that was a dive, but yeah, and Felipe Ducic is going to call for a goal kick. That was Jackson Hopkins who pulled his best Broadway stunt as Mikael was right there defending him. And we're going to have a free kick for Inter Miami. 12:21 played in the first half. Mora was looking to centralize the football on the pitch. That one rolls out of bounds, near side touchline. Mora will throw it in. I mentioned Mora, 2 starts in 3 matchups for Inter Miami. The Argentinian new transfer for Inter Miami Herons this season. We knew he was going to be playing a lot with Jordi Alba hanging up the boots, and Sergio Reguilon being injured. Reguilon, the heir apparent at left back for Jordi Alba, but he has been dealing with a knee injury, the only injured Inter Miami Heron on the roster. A throw in for Inter Miami, far side touchline. DC United still sitting back. We did see Jackson Hopkins try to play a ball, as now Inter Miami with space is Talasco Segovia in the middle of the pitch in DC United territory. He tried to go to that far side touchline to Matteo Silvetti. Bad pass, rolls out of bounds, going to be a throw in for DC United. 13-22, 13-23, 0-0. Folks, no score. 0-0 DC United and Inter Miami at M&T Bank Stadium. Lionel Messi needs 2 goals to get to 900 career goals between his illustrious careers and the stops that he's had at Barcelona, PSG, and now here at Inter Miami. Throwing again on that far side touchline, been a back and forth of who wants possession. That one literally thrown away. Noah Allen looked for Silvetti. Silvetti couldn't foot it and kicked it right out of bounds. Lionel Messi has multiple goals in 13 of his last 25 matches, including the MLS Cup. He had 2 goals versus DC United back in September. So we have seen Messi get a brace against this team before. Can we see it again? With the throw-in now, that is going to be Peltola for DC United. And shots of life for DC here, and that pass thwarted away, thankfully, deep in Inter Miami territory. DePaul on the run now. He'll play it back to Facundo Mora. Mora and the Herons right outside of that Inter Miami box. Now Falcone gets it, and he does a big switch to Noah Allen. Noah Allen nearing that midfield touchline play, Segovia. At the touchline circle is Yannick Bright in Inter Miami territory. Now Segovia back to Bright. 3-man 3-ball between Allen, Bright, and Segovia. On that far side touchline, back to the middle of the field to Bright. 14:54, 14:55 in the first half. Maxi Falcone goes to the near side touchline to Mora. Trying to break this defense is Inter Miami. Bad turnover by Mora. On the run is Hopkins. Hopkins takes out a shot right at Dane St. Clair. First shot of the game on target for DC United. Coming off an Inter turnover. Thankfully, right at Dane St. Clair in the 15th minute. But it was on that near side touchline. Facundo Mora with a bad turnover led to the American Jackson Hopkins with a lot of space. Now Messi with space, but a bad touch. As DC United now has it. Now won by Falcone. This has been a sloppy first half. Been a sloppy first half of possession. Our Herons have had majority of possession, but a lot of it has been on their own side of the pitch. We've had 2 shots on target, that Hopkins shot by DC United, and then the Rodrigo DePaul shot about 8 minutes ago. Now Inter Miami right back where we left off in their own territory, and DC United sitting back and begging for Inter Miami to make a turnover and hit them on the counter. Renee Weiler is completely fine with sitting back and letting Inter Miami have the ball and trying to force them into turnover once they cross the midfield mark. Big time switch to Matteo Silvetti. Silvetti taking the ground, no foul. That one blasted out of bounds by Noah Allen, who joined the attack on the DC United side of the pitch, and throwing it in now is Matty Peltola, the Finnish midfielder for DC United. DC United in their own territory. Jackson Hopkins with a turnover. That one's rolling back to DC's box. And Herman Berterame with a nice win of the ball. Talasco Segovia lays it up to DePaul. DeMonte's got a shot. Goal! Rodrigo DePaul with a fantastic strike on the ball. What an effort by Herman Berterame to set all that up. But Rodrigo DePaul with his first goal of the season. Inter Miami up 1-0 in the nation's capital in the 17th minute. DePaul, coming off of his fantastic game against Orlando, did everything but scored a goal, and he scores a goal here. And I can't stress it enough. Herman Berterame, folks, completely picked the pocket of Lucas Bartlett, who got a little cute with the ball. He made a nice pass to Telasco Segovia. In the box, Segovia found DePaul, and what a strike by Rodrigo DePaul. He went right across the goalkeeper's face, Sean Johnson. DePaul had it in the box on the right side, and he went straight across the face to the left side of Sean Johnson. Best goal, in my opinion, prettiest looking goal, in my opinion, from Rodrigo DePaul. And let's not forget, DePaul scored in a cup final. But wow, what a goal for Inter Miami. Herons up 1-0 in the 18th minute. I wonder if head coach Rene Weiler now doesn't sit back like, this is Italian football in 2006 in the World Cup. I was, to be honest, folks, I couldn't believe the way DC United was playing Inter Miami, letting them have the ball. And listen, I get it, man. That's how that is a recipe how to beat Inter Miami, is hit them on the counter. But I think letting the likes of Rodrigo DePaul, Lionel Messi, Telasco Segovia, letting them be on the ball for as long as they are is a recipe for disaster. But you got to give credit to Herman Berterame, who made that all possible, picking the pocket of Lucas Bartlett, a pure hustle play by the Mexican striker. Near far side touchline, this is Noah Allen. Bad turnover, but Yannick Bright able to win it. Yannick Bright plays Silvetti, who tries to head it down, and now that DC United defense will play it back to their goalkeeper, Sean Johnson. But a brilliant strike, a pretty strike by Rodrigo DePaul makes this thing 1-0. So 1-0, Inter Miami on top, 1927, 1928. Kirikawa now will play it back to his defense. Since Rodrigo DePaul has came over, he has truly been the enforcer for Inter Miami, defensively, offensively. And when he scores goals, folks, look out, man. Look out. You have the Golden Boot winner and two-time MVP winner, Lionel Messi. You have Matteo Silvetti, Telasco Segovia. Segovia had more 10 goals in all competitions last year. And then you had Herman Berterame in the mix, who had 15 Liga MX goals with Monterrey last year. If DePaul's scoring goals, we're going to be a real dangerous club. 2019, 2020, Inter Miami up 1-0. DC United now starting to press a little bit. Far side touchline, Noah Allen in DC territory. Plays it back to Segovia. Segovia cuts in, centralizes it with a pass to Yannick Bright. Messi near side touchline. Messi, brilliant one-time pass. Segovia looking for Berterame, thwarted by DC. Now Messi's on it again. Right in the middle of the pitch, between the penalty circle and the midfield circle, is Inter Miami, and ultimately, bad pass. DC United on top of it. Big through ball play towards Ty Baribo. Flag is up. He is offsides. Inter Miami going to have a free kick in their own territory. I mentioned Ty Baribo and how great of a player he was for the Philadelphia Union in their Supporter Shield championship last year. Or rather, not championship, trophy last year, excuse me. But obviously the Supporter Shield, folks, goes to the best regular season team. Our Inter Miami Herons did that 2 years ago, where they shattered the point total record. Speaking of our Herons, they're on the run. Rodrigo DePaul, near side touchline, plays it back to Mora, and now the Herons will recycle to the defense. Maxi Falcone barks an order at Mikael, and now Mikael has it. He goes near side touchline right at the midfield mark to DePaul. DePaul crosses midfield to Yannick Bright. Yannick Bright with space. Plays Lionel Messi. Inching closer to DC's box. Him and Silvetti not on the same page. That one rolls out of bounds. Going to be a throw-in for DC United. 21-51, 21-52. Throwing it in for DC United in their own territory. Far side touchline, Maddie Peltola. Peltola. Deep throw-in. Gets it to Baribo. Baribo gets escorted out of bounds, and that's going to be an Inter Miami throw-in. Baribo wanted a foul. He doesn't get one. Rodrigo DePaul gets it. He gets a nifty pass into Messi. Messi negs a defender, gets it to the ball, back to Messi, in the box to Silvetti. He tried to cross it to Messi, and that one knocked down by a DC United defender. A couple of our Herons attackers wanted a handball, and now this ball is rolling slowly to the near side touchline of midfield. And now we have a throw in, but I believe they're checking if this was a handball. Messi played on Silvetti. Silvetti made a pass in looking for Messi. DePaul immediately said, listen, that is a handball. Silvetti said that is a handball, but it looks like the check is clear. No handball called, no penalty kick awarded. So Inter Miami still leads 1-0 in the 23rd minute. Right back to their own defense. I mentioned how far back Atlanta was sitting back, tied with Inter Miami. Now you're starting to see their midfielders and their two strikers in Baribo and Hopkins being more active on the ball and pressing the order on the Inter Miami defenders. And that's exactly what they do. Turnover. DC on the run. Baribo with a nice pass, and what a bad shot, though. My goodness, that was Gabriel Pirani. He's not going to want to watch the tape on that one. It was a good pass, as I mentioned, by Baribo, playing on Pirani. Pirani went left foot, and folks, he shot that 2 goals to the left. Going to be a goal kick for our Herons. That was probably the most dangerous look DC has had all game. And now a good tackle there by DC United. They win the ball from Messi. Hopkins is on the run, right outside of Inter's box. He plays on Peglo, but a good job by Mikael. And a good tackle to get that out. Near side touchline, quick throw in by DC. Kirikawa striking the ball in, looking for Baribo on a header. He gets there. That ball rolling far side touchline near the Inter Miami box. DC back on it. Here is Pitola. Pitola with a nice turn, but a good tackle by Facundo Mora. Inter Miami now has it. Immediate turnover. DC back on it. Peltola plays it back to Bartlett. DC in Inter Miami territory. Peglo barking his orders. He lays it up to the striker Baribo. Baribo with space, and that one cleared away by Facundo Mora. Baribo looked dangerous right outside the box, made a move, but Mora got his left boot around it and boots it away. Still, DC is on the press. Far side touchline, though, Segovia able to settle it. Bertarame looking for Silvetti. 50-50 ball. Now back to Bertarame. Rodrigo DePaul with space. Inter Miami's on the counter, folks, and they have numbers. Lionel Messi with the ball and a tremendous amount of space. He cuts in, lays it up to DePaul. DePaul takes on another shot, but that one, acres left. That's going to be a goal kick for DC. A great job there. Lionel Messi had a lot of space. He played a pass into Bertarame. Bertarame played it back to Messi. Messi found DePaul, but DePaul had a strike that he will want to forget about. But Herman Bertarame, folks, he has been very active in link-up play today. He was the direct result in the goal that Rodrigo DePaul had for Inter Miami in the 18th minute. But, folks, it is 1-0. Our Herons still leading. Rodrigo DePaul and his goal is the difference right now in the 18th minute. 25-55, 25-56. Far side touchline. This is Lucas Bartlett. Bad pass and turnover. 50-50 ball near side touchline, though. Won by DePaul. Now that ball is centralized. Yannick Bright fighting for it, and what grit by Bright. He's still going, and now he gets a pass to Messi. The Herons on the run. Messi with space. He'll play on Bertarame. Back to Messi, to Bertarame. But that final pass to Messi, not able to get through. Near side touchline, DC United now has it. DC sloppy on the ball as Inter Miami wins it back quickly. They're trying to play through balls into their strikers, Ty Baribo and Jackson Hopkins. It is not working. And Inter Miami now has it. Far side touchline. Silvetti plays on Messi. Beautiful ball. Leo shot. Goal! Goal! Lionel Messi with the chippy shot in the back of the net. That is goal number 899. Lionel Messi is 1 goal away from 900 career goals in the 27th minute. Inter Miami up 2-0. Brilliant pass from Matteo Silvetti and a brilliant chip shot goal by Lionel Messi. 2-0 Inter Miami in Baltimore. Brilliant pass, brilliant run. Sean Johnson never had a chance. Messi, number 899. Johnson completely fooled on that. Completely fooled on that. Lionel Messi knew it. The magician knew exactly what he wanted to do. And he makes DC pay. 899. The Messi watch is officially on, folks. Does Leo have another goal to make it 900 goals in his career? 21-12, 21-13. Inter Miami up 2-0. A turnover by DC. They have nothing, folks. They have nothing going forward right now. I think Rene Weiler was completely fine sitting back for 90 minutes. You've seen him do it 2 fixtures already. Philadelphia, they won that game 1-0. They lost the game against Austin 1-0. The Herons back on the run. Here's Rodrigo de Paul, near side touchline, now thwarted out of bounds. Actually, a good tackle there by Kyle Rouse for DC. But I truly think that Rene Weiler, the head coach for DC United, wanted to sit back all game long and play the counter ball. Inter Miami thwarted that in 25 minutes. But 899, can't stress it enough, man. The GOAT, Lionel Messi, played for Barcelona, PSG, and now Inter Miami. We are 1 goal away from him getting goal number 900. Mikael looking for Silvetti. Bad pass, turnover. DC now has a chance. Far side touchline. This is Gabriel, a pass in, knocked out of bounds. And I believe this is going to be the first corner kick of the night. It is going to be a DC United corner kick. I do want to remind you, folks, that I know it's a DC United corner, but all Inter Miami corners are brought to you by Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. I'm sure we'll be getting a couple of Inter Miami corners with how dangerous the Herons have looked going forward. It is 2-0 in the 30th minute. Goals by Rodrigo de Paul and Lionel Messi. And now a fight in the box. On that wall, Maxi Falcone and Rodrigo de Paul get a stern talking to by head referee Philippe Ducic. On the corner is Kurikawa for DC United. Left foot in swinger is inbound, and that one, Estafiri from Dane St. Clair. But Kurikawa back on it. Hopkins with a dangerous ball, a header into the box for DC, and that one caught by Dane St. Clair. It was a header by Lucas Barlett, but St. Clair able to catch it, and now Inter Miami is on the run, near side touchline. Messi trying to switch fields to Silvetti, and that intercepted by Peltola. Sean Johnson now boots it deep. Hopkins in Inter Miami territory, inching closer to that Inter Miami box. He lays it up to Brandon Servania. Good tackle there by Yannick Bright. Went off him. Going to be a throw in, far side touchline right outside of the box. These are always dangerous throw-ins, folks. It is played in, and on it now is Peltola. Back to Kurikawa. Kurikawa takes on a left footer, and that one nowhere near the goal. One of those one-timers that we see fullbacks take on so often in world football. But Kurikawa got it all wrong. Going to be a goal kick. Rodrigo de Paul, 3 shots on the game. He leads all players. And obviously Lionel Messi with the shot and the goal to make it number 899. 32 minutes played. Is a bad turnover by Facundo Mora. Kurikawa now on it. Right outside of Inter Miami's box, near side touchline to Peglo. Peglo to Peltola. Back to Peglo, and a good interception by Bright. He can't hang on to it, though. Jackson Hopkins has it. This now a dangerous spot for DC. Play it off to Hopkins. Hopkins, I believe, got his shot deflected, or it was that bad? No, it was that bad. Wow. Going to be a goal kick for Inter Miami. DC had a couple of nice link-up plays there in Inter Miami's box, but ultimately able to do nothing with it. It was Pirani and Hopkins. But Hopkins, he just completely whiffed on that shot. Here's Lionel Messi. Lays it up to Yannick Bright. 33 minutes have gone by. Inter Miami probing out of the defense. Yannick Bright. He plays on Segovia. Segovia with space, looking for Mora on that near side touchline, intercepted. DC on the run. Maribo to Hopkins. Hopkins cuts in. Still has it, Hopkins. Still going with space. He comes all the way to the near side touchline. Now he cuts in again. Gets it to Peltola. Peltola now, the Hefty. Hefty cuts in. He's got space. Hefty takes on a shot, blocked by Mikael. Now Peglo to Kirikawa, near side touchline. DC United threatening. Here's Peglo again. Peglo cuts in. He crosses the ball into the box. A fight for it, and Inter Miami able to head it down with Matteo Silvetti. Silvetti, far side touchline, trying to be closed down by these DC United attackers who want the ball back. Now played to the box to Mikael. Here is Maxi Falcone. Falcone, good pass to DePaul. Near side touchline, Moura. 3-man 3-ball with Falcone, DePaul, and Moura. DePaul goes to the ground, and head referee Felipe Ducic blows his whistle. And we have a free kick. Rodrigo DePaul and Ty Baribo having words. Maxi Falcone now. Having words with Ty Baribo. Baribo is still hot. If he continues this, Felipe Ducic is going to have to show a card. DePaul's still on the ground. Now he gets up. Rodrigo's going to be okay. 34-55, 34-56. Baribo is hot. He is still jawing at Rodrigo DePaul. And now DePaul had a word for him as well. But we're back in play. Near side touchline, Mora. Mora finds Bright, plays it back to Falcone. United desperately trying to get something going and get the ball back. Far side touchline, Noah Allen. Is he going to be on? A good pass to Matteo Silvetti. He was onside, but Sean Johnson came off his line and grasped it with glee. 35-30. Inter Miami up 2-0. A goal by Rodrigo DePaul. A goal by Lionel Messi. That goal by Messi made it 899 career goals. 35-40, 35-41. That one rolls out of bounds near side touchline. On the attack there was Kirikawa, and he had nowhere to go. Our Inter Miami Herons now will throw it in. Played back to Dane St. Clair. He'll play on Mikael. Mikael, one of my favorite center backs for Inter Miami this year, a recent transfer man brought in by Javier Mascherano for Palmeiras. And now Inter Miami in trouble. A horrible turnover. What a tackle by Yannick Bright! And on goal was Gabriel Pirani, and Yannick Bright picked his pocket. Wow. Bright was the reason for the turnover, but man, he won it back in tremendous style, completely picking the pocket on the windup. Gabriel Pirani was winding that ball up, ready to take on his shot, and Yannick Bright stole his pocket. Pirani's still down in the box, by the way. That never a foul, man. You know, you got your pocket picked, Nate. You know, it is what it is. It's good defending. Silvetti now, far side touchline to Segovia. DePaul with acres of space. Now played to Messi. Near side touchline. Inch it closer to the box. Messi right outside of the box. Cuts inside. Leo still has it. Shoots! And a whisker right. Oh my goodness. I thought that was going to be a patented Lionel Messi masterclass goal. Folks, he had that ball. He was on that run for a solid 6 to 7 seconds. And he had a left foot strike on Sean Johnson's goal. I thought that was going in. A whisker right for Lionel Messi. That was almost number 900, folks. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Inches away, folks. Inches away from 900, Lionel Messi. Now a turnover by DC, but they get it right back. Pirani gets his pocket picked by my guy, Mikael. That one rolls out of bounds. Near side touchline throw-in coming up for DC United. Now here is Hopkins. He chests down a pass. That one was from Sirvani. Now Silvetti has it. Far side touchline by Inter Miami's box in their own territory. Winning the ball now is Facundo Mora. Mora acres of space. He finds DePaul. Inter Miami's got numbers. Here is Mora now again. Messi now. Looking for Bertarame, and that is when Lucas Bartlett steps up and thwarts the pass away. Excuse me, that was Kyle Rawls, the Australian. DC United cannot keep possession for more than 3 seconds as our Herons are back on the ball. Here is Facundo Mora. Mora will play it back to Falcone. 38-50, 38-51. Inter Miami up 2-0. Goals by Rodrigo DePaul and Lionel Messi. Leo's got 899 career goals. Are we going to see number 900 here at M&T Bank Stadium? Segovia still running. Still has it. Far side touchline. Cuts in. Silvetti to Messi. And good job there by Peglo getting back. That looked like Messi was well in on goal. Good job there by Peglo, the Brazilian midfielder. Pirani now plays to Hopkins. Hopkins, big-time switch to Baribo, and a great header by Maxi Falcone. Baribo very frustrated and very hot in that first half. And Yannick Bright, by the way, we're seeing the replay. Pirani was wide open in on goal, and Yannick Bright straight up picked the change of Pirani all ball. Pirani continued to lay on the ground and disgraced, by the way, for about 3 minutes after, a minute 50 after that. Completely disgraceful to flop like that and be on the ground for that long. 40-10, 40-11. Our Herons up 2-0. Mikael plays Bright. Near side touchline now. Mora. Inter Miami inching closer to DC territory, and that ball thwarted away. A bad turnover for Inter Miami. Mikael straight up bully balls Pirani off the box and off the ball. Inter Miami now has it. It's been a tough first half for these attackers for DC United. Falcone, Mikael have pocketed Baribo, Hopkins, and Pirani. Inter Miami on the run. Yannick Bright plays Rodrigo DePaul to Messi. Messi now to DePaul. Right outside the penalty arc. DePaul crosses in. Looking for Messi. Messi lays it up. Looking for Bertarame. Nobody home. And that one now cleared away by DC. Baribo in his own territory. Plays it off to Peltola. DC United trying to get out. The press is on for the Herons. Pirani goes to ground and the foul. That one going to go against Rodrigo DePaul. Free kick coming up for DC United. Bono, Mutinu, Antley, Markovic, Clark, Turner, and Kojima. The reserves available for Atlanta. Rios Novo, Luan, Suarez, Frey, Ayeshala, Ruiz, Pinter, and Abadi Arita. The reserves available for Inter Miami. 41-42. 2-0 our Herons on top. Bertarame, a pass to Silvetti. Far side touchline. Now to Segovia. Segovia right to Messi. Messi quickly to Bright. Bright at the penalty arc circle. Or excuse me, at the midfield circle. Gets it back. 3-man 3-ball between Messi and Bright and Segovia. Now Inter Miami recycles to the defense with Mikael. St. Clair in Inter Miami's box plays Falcone near side touchline. 2-0. Inter Miami on top of DC United in the 42nd minute. Bad turnover by Mora, but a good job there by Yannick Bright to get that ball out of bounds and a throw in for DC United. Kurakawa now, right off of the throw in. Kurakawa plays it to Pirani. Pirani lays it up to his Brandon Servania. Servania, Puerto Rican, plays it near side touchline to Kurakawa. Yannick Bright with a tackle. He gets air. Peglo gets it to the penalty arc, and now a turnover. Our Herons on the run. Near side touchline, Messi. Messi with a tremendous amount of space. He's cutting in. Messi still has it. Going to the penalty arc. He gets it back to Silvetti. Silvetti playing on Bertarame, and he can't get there. Ball rolls out. It's going to be a goal kick for DC United. 43-23, 43-24. About a minute and a half away from hearing about extra time presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Inter Miami 2-0. Goals by Rodrigo De Paul and Lionel Messi. Lionel is 1 goal away from 900. 1 goal away from 900 career goals. 43-44, 43-45. DC United probing onto their defense. Far side touchline. They've had nothing going forward. Nothing. They had a big-time attempt by Pirani. He got his change stolen by Yannick Bright. 44-04. DC still has it. Far side touchline. Cutting in now is Hopkins. Turnover. Mikael looking for DePaul. Can't get it there. And that was a pass from Lucas Bartlett. Trying to come to the near side touchline to Peglo. That goes out of bounds. Inter Miami's going to have to throw it. Facundo Mora, the right back, for Inter Miami, going to throw it in. Mora throws it to Falcone. Falcone bullied off the ball by Baribo a little too much. Is Felipe Ducic called a foul. Immediately played by Falcone on the free kick. St. Clair, 45-55, 45-56, or sorry, 44-56. Now we're at 45 flat. Waiting on extra time. Messi, 2 minutes, 2 additional minutes presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Folks, test drive that brand new Q3 today at your local South Florida Audi dealer. They sponsor our extra time on the Inter Miami Radio Network. Love our great partners at our local South Florida Audi dealer. 2 additional minutes. Falcone wins it. Right at midfield is DePaul. DePaul plays it back to Mikael. 45-34, 45-35. 2-0 Inter Miami. Almost to halftime. We are officially on Lionel Messi, goal number 900 watch. Obviously, we were before the match, but him already getting in the first half has a lot of excited people at M&T Bank Stadium. 71,000 people out to see Lionel Messi today in Baltimore. 46 on the dot. We are 1 minute into the allotted 2 minutes of extra time. DC United slapping on a press in Inter Miami territory. They're trying to push for a goal right before halftime. Inter Miami going to have a throw-in deep in their own territory near their own box, near side touchline. Mora, who's been handling the throw-in duties on this side of the pitch, like how the fullbacks usually do. 46-31, 46-32. Lionel Messi with a tremendous amount of space after a good ball by Mora. Silvetti on the run. Ball roll into the box, turnover, and then a foul. Could that be a card? Thankfully, no. It was a good pass from Mora to Messi. Messi had a lot of space across midfield, played on Silvetti. Silvetti got right to the box, tried to ball roll his defender and Kusuke Kurakawa, and they rolled out of bounds. Now we are officially at the 2-minute mark of extra time, and that is the halftime whistle. Lionel Messi, folks, 899. We are officially 900 hunting. Lionel Messi 1 goal away from 900 career goals. And our Herons up 2-0 at halftime. We'll break it down for you guys on your Inter Miami halftime report on your Inter Miami Radio Network.
Hey, ref, timeout, man. All right, team, we're only down by 5. We can still win this. Grab some water and get back out there. Whoa, not that water. You need Culligan water. With a free water test and advanced reverse osmosis purification system, Culligan helps reduce contaminants, delivering cleaner, safer, better tasting water. Enjoy 12 months interest-free. Schedule your free test today at Culligan.com, serving all of South Florida, residential or commercial.
Hey, Culligan man!
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends, to lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
Picture this, a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
College basketball is heating up and the tournament is almost here. Don't let your home get caught off guard. Get ready now with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can get 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the court, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS has been the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSisyes.com today. Stay cool and be ready before the madness hits.
Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Let's get back to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Inter Miami up 2-0 at halftime in the nation's capital. Welcome on into your Inter Miami halftime report. I am the voice of the Inter Miami Herons, Mike Rizzo, and I got you covered all game long. Lionel Messi scored goal number 899 in the first half, but Rodrigo De Paul also got in the 17th minute. So 2 goals separated by 10 minutes. DePaul got in the 17th, and Lionel Messi got in the 27th. Let's take a listen to the first goal. Rodrigo DePaul with a brilliant strike going across the face of goalkeeper Sean Johnson. Here's Rodrigo DePaul opening up the scoring. Herman Berterame with a nice win of the ball. Telasco Segovia lays it up to DePaul. DeMonte's got a shot. Goal! Rodrigo DePaul with a fantastic strike on the ball. What an effort by Herman Berterame to set all that up. But Rodrigo DePaul with his first goal of the season. Inter Miami up 1-0 in the nation's capital in the 17th minute. So that was Rodrigo DePaul finding the back of the net. And folks, I can't stress enough how important it was by Herman Berterame. Herman Berterame, the striker for Inter Miami, was on the tail of Lucas Bartlett. And Lucas Barlick got a little too cute with the ball. As we see defenders try to do, he trying to escort the ball across the goalkeeper, across the back line for a goal kick. But Bertarame completely finessed him, won the ball, played on Segovia, and you heard the goal there by Rodrigo de Paul. Now let's listen to Lionel Messi in the 27th minute. Lionel Messi doing Lionel Messi things. That is goal 899 coming your way right now. Silvetti plays on Messi. Beautiful ball. Leo shot. Goal! Goal! Lionel Messi with the chippy shot in the back of the net. That is goal number 899. Lionel Messi is one goal away from 900 career goals in the 27th minute. Inter Miami up 2-0. Brilliant pass from Matteo Silvetti and a brilliant chip shot goal by Lionel Messi. 2-0 Inter Miami in Baltimore. Messi did a fantastic job of reading goalkeeper Sean Johnson. And listen, he's done that 899 times in his illustrious career. Once again, Messi sitting at 899 goals on his career. Stops in Barcelona, stops in France and PSG in the nation's capital in Paris. And then now with our Inter Miami Herons making it 899. Let's take our first time out of the halftime report. When we come back, we'll dive into the numbers. We'll see exactly how Inter Miami is winning on the pitch as well with the 2 goals. But Inter Miami dominating possession. We'll talk about that on your Inter Miami radio network coming up next.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2026 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2026 Defender 110 P300S for just $899 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Robert Gilman, partner and leader of Anshin's Real Estate Group.
Under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, 100% bonus depreciation has been permanently reinstated. Real estate businesses are now able to immediately expense the full cost of qualifying property. Even projects with millions in improvements can benefit from first-year expensing without any spending cap. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we strategically guide real estate businesses through these legislative changes to help them develop a long-term investment strategy and boost cash flow. If you're a real estate professional looking to enhance profitability and minimize tax liabilities, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit 1 checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Picture this, a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
Hey, ref, time out, man. All right, team, we're only down by 5. We can still win this. Grab some water and get back out there. Whoa, not that water. You need Culligan water. With a free water test and advanced reverse osmosis purification system, Culligan helps reduce contaminants, delivering cleaner, safer, better tasting water. Enjoy 12 months interest-free. Schedule your free test today at Culligan.com, serving all of South Florida, residential or commercial.
Hey, Culligan man! When you see the big
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 1063. Now let's get to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Our Inter Miami Herons up 2-0 at the halftime mark. Rodrigo DePaul and Lionel Messi scoring the goals. And Leo has 899 goals. We are officially 900 watching for Lionel Messi in the nation's capital. But once again, Inter Miami on top 2-0 over DC United. Inter Miami, let's actually open up under the hood. Let's take a look at the numbers and what it looks like under the hood, because Inter Miami is completely dominating possession, 70% to 30%. Now, I mentioned earlier in the broadcast that DC United was sitting tremendously back. I think what Renee Weiler, the gaffer for DC United, I think what they wanted to do was let Inter Miami have the ball. Let Inter Miami have the ball and let them make a turnover, and we're going to capitalize off of Inter Miami and the turnovers like teams have done in the past. But Rodrigo DePaul opening up the scoring in the 17th minute completely changed everything. The game flipped on its head. DC United started to having to change a bit of their game plan, having to start throwing on a press and pressing the issue a little bit. And that led to the Lionel Messi brilliant chip shot goal with an assist from Matteo Silvetti. And Inter on under the hood in the numbers, they actually have less shots than DC United, but more on target. Inter Miami's got 3 shots on target and 1 big chance compared to only 1 shot on target for DC United and 0 big chances. So Inter Miami not only winning on the pitch, but also on the stat sheet. Expected goals, Inter Miami is sitting at 0.36, while DC United is sitting at 0.19. My best guess, folks, I think Coach Mascherano and the Herons keep the foot on the gas pedal. I don't think you're going to see any early-ish substitutions to start out of the half. In match day 1 against LAFC, you saw Ian Frey be substituted out for Facundo Mora. I think a lot of that had to do with Denny Bouanga and what he was doing on that left side against Ian Frey in the matchup. We haven't really seen Mascherano hit a panic button like that and completely start subbing guys off of the pitch. And I don't think he's going to do that up 2-0. Now, I will say, I am standing corrected because Matteo Silvetti subbed down at the beginning of the second half for Noah Allen. But once again, a different situation. Inter Miami was down 2-0 against Orlando City and needed a spark of offense. So I think you're going to see the same 11 for Inter Miami once again from left to right, a 4-2-3-1, which consisted of Noah Allen, Mikael, Maxi Falcone, and Facundo Mora. Yannick Bright and Rodrigo DePaul as defensive-ish midfielders. I mean, DePaul has been up with the attack more than I think almost anybody in that first half. But then your 3 technically midfielders in that 4-2-3-1 were Segovia, Messi, and Silvetti, and Bertarame, the lone striker. I think it's going to be more of the same from that lineup coming up in the second half. Now, as far as DC United, they had nothing going forward. Ty Baribo, who was their big-time acquisition and transfer in the summer, he was visibly frustrated in that first half. Visibly frustrated in that first half with some of the runs that DC United players were missing him. He was making runs through the correct channel, but I give a lot of credit to Mikael and Maxi Falcone, who were able to shut down Avenue 1 in the middle of the pitch where Baribo was trying to go. Jackson Hopkins, the other striker with Ty Baribo, he had the ball a lot. The issue was he didn't do a good job of getting shots on target. Hopkins had a couple of opportunities. The first opportunity that he had was a left footer that completely missed the target. I mean, folks, a full goal length missed the target. I originally thought that it was deflected by an Inter Miami defender, but there was none of that. And then the biggest chance, it wasn't even technically a big chance, folks. You know, that's a big-time statistic in football. But it wasn't a big chance because Gabriel Pirani winded up for what would have been, I mean, it was just him and Dane St. Clair. It would have been a goal, but Yannick Bright did a good job of picking his change. Now, Bright was ultimately, the ball was turned over, and he won it back. So I give Yannick Bright a lot of credit on that, but those were really the only big chances for DC United in that first half. It was all Inter Miami, Lionel Messi, and Rodrigo de Paul. We are just about ready to get underway in the second half at M&T Bank Stadium. Once again, I'm Mike Rizzo, the voice of the Inter Miami Herons here on ESPN 106.3, and we are underway. Second half underway with our Inter Miami Herons on the road playing against the nation's capital, DC United, at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. Can Lionel Messi get to 900 goals? Leo is sitting at 899. First half goal, brilliant chip shot goal. Can we see 900 for the best player of all time? Mikael now plays it near side touchline, Noah Allen. Inter Miami in their own territory, inching close to midfield. Yannick Bright. Back to Mikael. Should mention again, Inter Miami in their all pink kits, pink jerseys, pink shorts, pink socks. In Atlanta, they're all black uniforms with their red trim. Turnover by Inter Miami. On the run now is Peglo. Peglo will play it to Kazuki Kurakawa. Back to Peglo, right outside Inter Miami's box. DC looking a bit threatening. Peglo and Kurakawa playing two-man two-ball. Peglo, near side touchline. Looking for a pass into Pirani. Back heel. But putting that off target was Servani. Inter Miami, a couple of Inter Miami players getting ready on the sideline. I believe that is Pinter and Luis Suarez. 46-43, 46-44. Inter Miami up 2-0. Second half just underway. This is your Inter Miami radio network. You can stream us live on that ESPN South Florida app, and you could also watch us on YouTube at ESPN West Palm FC. That is at ESPN West Palm FC. We have a live graphic going during the broadcast, and you can listen to the audio. It is completely free at ESPN West Palm FC, and you can also subscribe to the channel. DC United doing a good job of closing down Segovia, but the ball ultimately ends up on Lionel Messi's boot. Messi, big switch, near side touchline, Matteo Silvetti heading it. Ball won by Noah Allen. Now Allen will recycle back to the defense. But folks, ESPN West Palm FC, we talked to a lot of world football guests. We had Taylor Twellman from the Apple TV broadcast on. Taylor Twellman himself, an MLS MVP back in 2005, a St. Louis native. And we had Kaylin Curry on the broadcast as well. So get subscribed. That's at ESPN West Palm FC. Far side touchline, Maxi Falcone. In Inter Miami territory, plays it to Mikael. 48-06, 48-07. Inter Miami up 2-0. Goals by Rodrigo de Paul and Lionel Messi. We are waiting to see if Lionel Messi can get goal number 900. Messi, quick one-time pass to Segovia. Now Matteo Silvetti with space. Near side touchline. Cuts into the box. Now he'll lay up to Noah Allen on that near side touchline. Ball to the middle to Segovia. Segovia looking for Bertarame. Now Matteo Silvetti ends up with it. A nice pass from Messi. And Bertarame can't get on the end of it. It was actually really good defense there by Kyle Rawls and Lucas Barland, the two center backs. Rawls now, the Australian, on the ball. He directly turns it over to Inter Miami, and Falcone will whack that one out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for DC United. Inter Miami wins it off the throw. Yannick Bright, nifty move, but he gets closed down by Servani and Peglo. Servania with the ball now, gets it to Gabriel turnover. Mora with a good tackle. Here is Rodrigo DePaul playing on Bertarame, but Sean Johnson comes off his lines and grasps the ball. Patola now with it for DC United. United recycling back to their defense. 49-22, 49-23, 2-0 Inter Miami on top. Bertarame with a handball. That's going to be a free kick for DC United. 49-35, 49-36. Back in play now. Here's Hopkins, near side touchline. He's looking for Servania on a deep ball, but Mikael did a good job of thwarting that one away. Throw in now. Hopkins, near side touchline. A foul. Good job there by Matteo Silvetti winning the ball back. No card shown, but Jackson Hopkins called for the foul. Segovia will take the free kick. 50-15, 50-16. Second half, Inter Miami up 2-0. Goals by DePaul and Messi in the first half. Messi sitting at 899 goals, patiently waiting to see if the great one gets 900 today in Baltimore. Silvetti, near side touchline, intercepted. Servania looking for Hopkins. That rolls out of bounds. Not on the same page. Servania and Hopkins throwing for our Inter Miami Herons and Noah Allen. Been a sloppy game for DC United and head gaffer Rene Weiler. Rene Weiler, the Swiss manager, in his first full year at DC United. DC United sacked their manager last year, and Rene took over in August of 2025 and got awarded the full-time position in the offseason. DePaul taking the ground. That was Matty Peltola. Going to be a free kick for Inter Miami. Referee Felipe Ducic keeping his cards in his pocket. It's coming to that time in the game, folks, though. If it continues to get, a little physical like this, you're going to see Ducic start reaching into his pocket. Ty Baribo apparently still angry from that first half because he's having words with Lionel Messi and Rodrigo DePaul. Inter Miami now gets it back in play. DePaul with a nice pass to Segovia. Near side touchline to Allen. Silvetti goes to the ground. It was good defense there by Sylvan Hefty, the right back. And now we're going to have a throw in for DC United as that one goes out of bounds. 51-57, 51-59, 52 on the dot, 2-0. Inter Miami on top of DC. We were awaiting to see if Lionel Messi can get goal 900. 52-10, 52-11. DC in Inter Miami territory. Pegged down by Pego, and what a pass into Gabriel. He lays it up for Baribo, but good defense there by Facundo Mora. Mora clears his lines. Gabriel Pirani definitely wants that pass back. Pirani, the same DC United man who wound up for what would have been a goal and got air because Yannick Bright had a tremendous play defensively. Now we have a foul. Yannick Bright going to be called for the foul. Rodrigo DePaul having words with head referee Felipe Ducic, but it will be a free kick, and it looks like Jackson Hopkins is going to be the one taking it. 53 minutes have been played in the fixture. Our Herons still on top 2-0, but we have a dangerous free kick coming up for DC United. (53-20, 53-21), awaiting for head referee Felipe Ducic to blow that whistle. Now, whistle's blown, play in, cross is in. That one thwarted away by Herman Bertarame, and on the boot of Messi. Messi plays Segovia, far side touchline. Good job by Segovia to keep it in. Now here's Messi. Lays it to DePaul, now to Allen. Allen trying to cut in. Good defense there by Kazuki Kurakawa. That one goes out of bounds. Throw in inbound for Inter Miami. 53-54, 53-55. Allen goes backwards to DePaul. Now Inter will recycle to our defense. Near side touchline. Mikael to Allen. Allen cuts in and plays it to goalkeeper Dane St. Clair. Dane St. Clair looking for his first clean sheet of the season. St. Clair has let 5 goals go past in 2.5 games. I think this would be big for Dane's confidence to see a 0 on the end of the game. 54-25, 54-26. A press is on for DC United. Falcone in trouble, and that one is sent out of bounds. It was tipped, though, by Gabriel Pirani. Going to be a throw-in for Inter Miami here. What is Felipe Ducic calling here? Yes, it is going to be a throw-in for Inter Miami. Whistle blown. Mora. Nifty ball to Segovia, who tried playing Bertarame, but DC United now recycling to their defense. Here is Hefty, who plays it back to goalkeeper Sean Johnson. 55-04, 55-05. Inter Miami up 2-0. Goals by Rodrigo de Paul and Lionel Messi in the first half. Inter Miami slaps on a press. Here's Hefty cutting in. He'll play it back to Kyle Rawls, who tracks it back in his own box, but Bertarame on the run. Bertarame closes down Rawls. Sean Johnson, goalkeeper now, with a big switch to Lucas Bartlett. Bartlett on that same near side touchline tries playing on Hefty. Closed down by Inter Miami defenders. Mora in the vicinity. Now DC United with it. Near side touchline in Inter Miami territory again. This is Peltola. Mikael now. Peltola tried playing on Servania. Mikael did a good job of winning that ball back. Near side touchline. Here is Noah Allen. Allen with a brilliant ball to Lionel Messi right at the midfield stripe. Messi right at the stripe. Plays on Bertarame. Now here's Rodrigo de Paul. Inter Miami in DC United territory. De Paul with a big switch. Near side touchline. Noah Allen. Now on that near side touchline to Silvetti. Segovia cuts in. He plays on Yannick Bright. Bright, DC United territory, right between the midfield circle and the penalty circle. He plays on Falcone. Inter Miami has their team up. 56-33, 56-34. Our Herons lead 2-0 in the second half. Near side touchline, Noah Allen. Plays it quickly to Silvetti. Turnover. Hopkins, good job there for DC United. They're on the run. Here's Gabriel. Gabriel cuts in. Closed down by Yannick Bright. Yannick Bright is everywhere, folks, in that central defensive midfield position. He's kind of playing that holding defender role with Rodrigo de Paul up with the attack. And speaking of Rodrigo de Paul, brought in the ground and a foul. And our first booking of the game. It is going to go against the Brazilian Peglo. Peglo, written down in Felipe Ducic in the good book, as he clearly grabbed Rodrigo de Paul. De Paul did a good job there, shielding off Peglo. Peglo clearly grabbing and yanking. A booking in the 57th minute. First booking of the game. I think things start getting interesting now for head gaffer Renee Weiler and DC. Already down 2-0. Got a man booked. I think Weiler could possibly be going to the bench sooner rather than later. The midfielders available off the bench for DC United: Josi Kajini, Gavin Turner, and then you think you can maybe even sub on an attacker in Caden Curry as Inter Miami goes quick. That ball played immediately and went all the way to DC United's box. Facundo Mora was tracking it. Excuse me, Caden Clark. Caden Clark, Jacob Morel, and Louis Montanol are the attackers available off the DC United bench. Mora with the throw-in. Far side touchline in DC United territory. Goes off of Yannick Bright's face. Goes out of bounds. I believe, actually it was an offside call. It went off of Bright's noggin and hit Rodrigo de Paul, who was in an illegal position and not ready for the ball. And he shouldn't have been ready for the ball. DC now playing out of their own side of the pitch. Patula with a big run and a good pass. Here's Hopkins. Right outside the penalty arc. Takes it on. And a good block there. There are 3 Herons in the vicinity. Segovia, Bright, and Allen. But it was a good pass there by Matty Peltola, who found Jackson Hopkins with a lot of space. Hopkins put a good shot on target, but it was deflected by a mixture of Noah Allen and Maxi Falcone. And now we have a corner kick. Not an Inter Miami corner, but once again, all corner kicks presented by Lytle Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath. Visit foryourrights.com. They've been serving South Florida and our people for 35 years as a header by Kyle Rawls. That was Lucas Bartlett, who was on target, hit off an Inter Miami defender, and now we have another corner kick presented by Lytle Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath. Visit foryourrights.com, folks. Jackson Hopkins. Jackson Hopkins is going to be taking the corner for DC. And wow. I mean, folks, I'm not kidding when I say this. Jackson Hopkins just kicked that corner kick behind the net. Guys, he kicked it behind the net. I've never seen that before. Folks, I've never seen that before. He literally just kicked it behind the net. Inter Miami goal kick. Subbing on for DC United, Louis Montano. He will come on for Gabriel Pirani, who, for all intents and purposes, needed to come off the pitch for DC. He had a stinker and a hook. But Cervania and Pirani coming off. Markovic and Montano coming on. Montano, the attacker of the bunch, and Markovic actually a defender. So Rene Weiler going to his bench for the first time today. 6106, 6107. DC United being a little threatening here in the second half. They showed signs of life offensively, and Rene Weiler thought it was the right time to go to the bench with attacker Louis Montano and defender Markovic. Far side touchline. Kurakawa plays it to the recently subbed on Martano. Martano plays it back to the defense now. This is Bartlett. Bartlett, big time pass, looking for Baribo. 61-48, 61-49. DC United probing. Near side touchline. They cross midfield. They get it to Hefty. Hefty and Bartlett now playing a little 2-man 2-ball. Now Bartlett does a big switch. They're going nowhere fast. Here's Kurakawa, far side touchline, guarded by DePaul. He plays on Peglo. Peglo dribbles that one right out of bounds. Going to be a throw-in for our Inter Miami Herons. If you're just joining us, Inter Miami up 2-0. 62 minutes. 62 minutes have been played. The goal scorers, Rodrigo DePaul and Lionel Messi. Messi sitting at 899 total goals. Will Messi score number 900 in Baltimore? Throw in taken to Mikael. Mikael plays it out of Inter Miami's box, near side touchline to Mora. Mora on that same touchline. 2-man 2-ball. Him and Silvetti. Now Noah Allen trying to get to the Lionel Messi. Turnover. On it is Montano. Now Markovic, turnover, but a whistle and a foul. Head referee Felipe Ducic awarding DC United a free kick. That one goes against Talasco Segovia. There will be no card. There will be no citation. There will be no booking, but a free kick. Markovic takes it quick. He goes to Kurakawa, wide open on that far side touchline. Kurakawa winding up for a cross. He stops, though, and lays it up to Markovic. Markovic with the ball in, looking for Montano. Montano, bicycle kick! And oh my goodness, Louis Montano almost with the worldie. It was a good pass by Markovic. Markovic actually got that to Hopkins. Hopkins laid it off for Montano. And golly, that bicycle kick was too close for comfort for an Inter Miami fan like myself. It was a good right boot. Dane St. Clair was beat as well. But just missing that was Louis Montano. 64-03, 64-04. Lionel Messi taking the ground and a foul. Louis Ducic didn't like the defense by Kazuki Kurikawa. Free kick for Inter Miami. 64-17, 64-18. Inter Miami up 2-0. Rodrigo De Paul, a goal scorer, will be taking the free kick. Will he find the other goal scorer in Lionel Messi? This free kick near that far side touchline in DC United territory. De Paul will go backwards now to Mikael. Mikael, near side touchline, Noah Allen. Allen, quick stop and start. Now he'll play it back to Dane St. Clair. It was De Paul in that 17th minute, and the great one, Lionel Messi, in the 27th. Bad pass there by Inter Miami. A turnover. Here is Kurikawa, far side touchline. Markovic gets it to Peglo. DC looking threatening. Good defense there by Facundo Mora, thwarting away a pass into the box, looking for Montanó. Now Peglo ends up with it for DC. 50-50 balls and sloppy play right now. DC United on it in Inter Miami territory. Kurikawa, far side touchline. Markovic. Now to Montanó. Montanó, Kurikawa, and Markovic with a little 3-man 3 ball. Now Peglo getting involved. Centralizing the ball is Peglo. He'll play to the far side touchline to the center back Bartlett. Bartlett cross in and a catch. Good job there by Dane St. Clair to come off his lines and make the play. 65-51, 65-52. Inter Miami up 2-0 over DC United. Dane St. Clair will play Mikael. Near side touchline. Mikael with a deep pass. Looking for Bertarame. Won by DC. Markovic. Now to Kurikawa. Kurikawa looking for Peglo. Peglo with a nice release. Kurikawa trying to play a ball in and head it away. Good job there by Mikael. He was looking for the dangerous striker, Ty Baribo. The Israeli striker was in a very dangerous position. A good left foot in swinger cross by Kurikawa, but thwarted away by Mikael. And it's going to be a corner kick. Corner kicks presented by Lytle Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath. Visit foryourrights.com. Lytle Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath have been serving South Florida and their people for 35 years. 64-49, 64-48. Cross in, back stick, trouble, and Bartlett taking the ground, and it's actually going to be a foul on him. It was a dangerous in-swinging right foot corner. But Bartlett got a little too physical. Or actually, no, he was called off sides. I'm sorry, folks. Flag was up, and he was called off sides. Wait, Ducic blows his whistle. Time to pass it in. And that cross, by the way, guy who takes the corners is Jackson Hopkins. Remember, he was the one. He shot it behind the net. I never saw that before. On a corner kick, he right-footed it, and it went behind the net on a corner kick. But this corner, a lot better. Bartlett was in a dangerous position, but the flag was up. All right, 63-54, 63-55. DC United somehow, some way has a better XG than our Inter Miami Herons now. They've been laying on the pressure in the second half. Not a lot of chances for our Herons in the second half, but thankfully they got a 2-goal cushion. Segovia, nice 2-man 2-ball with him and Messi. Messi in a dangerous spot, was in an attacking position, now a turnover. Peglo is using his pace on that far side touchline. He cuts in, guarded by Falcone. Here comes Bright now over to help. Now laid off to Markovic. Back to Peglo. Peglo cross into the box, looking for Hopkins. Good defense by Mikael. Now here is Hefty. Hefty cross into the box. A header, and that one right over the crossbar. And head referee Filip Ducic is going to call for a goal kick and not a corner kick, and that is going to upset Louis Montanó. It was a good cross in, left foot in, swing and cross into the box. Montanó got his head over it, and they wanted a corner kick. went right over the goalpost of Dane St. Clair. And to be fair, St. Clair did touch it before going out. I don't know if they're going to look at this or not, but no, they're not. And the call stands on the field. But it was a dangerous attempt by Louis Montagnol. Rodrigo De Paul arguing with Philippe Ducic. Head referee is now Dane St. Clair. Boots it away. This one goes into DC United territory. St. Clair booted it to the vicinity on the near side touchline to Matteo Silvetti. That goes out of bounds. Going to be a throw-in for our Herons. Inter Miami still winning the possession battle 55-45. 79-44, 79-45. Bad turnover by Inter Miami. Good defense by Maxi Falcone. As now Mora centralizes the ball, and now Messi has space, folks. Leo plays on Bertarame. Back to Messi. But Hefty able to thwart the ball away. 50-50 ball. Inter Miami near side touchline. Silvetti diving for it. But it's going to be a throw-in. 70 minutes have been played. 2-0 Inter Miami on top. DePaul and Messi, the goal scorers. Met your mercy, folks. I saw someone who's about to come on for Inter Miami, but Coach Mascherano was holding the back of his jersey. I didn't see a number or a name. 70-26, 70-27. Inter Miami with a quick free kick after a foul by Jackson Hopkins. DePaul now, near side touchline. Noah Allen. DePaul goes to ground. Foul. And this one going to go against Louis Montagnol. And by the way, the phantom Inter Miami player I was mentioning is Tadio Allende. Tadio Allende, who broke the MLS playoffs goals scored record last season. So in a single playoff run, Tadio Allende scored the most goals with 9 in the history of the MLS. Allende will sub on for Matteo Silvetti in the 71st minute. So Tadio Allende on, Matteo Silvetti off. Silvetti had an assist to Lionel Messi in the first half. So Silvetti exits in the 71st as one of the heroes of the game so far. But Tadio Allende, I mentioned those 9 goals scored in the MLS run last year, is the most ever scored in a single run. Inter Miami with the ball near side touchline, booting it away is Noah Allen. And it ends up with Lionel Messi, middle of the pitch. Leo, good pass into Segovia, right outside of the box. Talasco lays it up to Allende. Allende will play it backwards now on that far side touchline to Mura. Ball is centralized with a pass to Bright. Bright plays it to Mikael. At the midfield mark, will play on Rodrigo De Paul. 72-04, 72-05. Inter Miami will recycle back to the defense. The 4-2-3-1 has worked for Coach Mascherano tonight. Bright has been brilliant. DePaul has been brilliant. And Messi has been Messi. I mentioned, if Rodrigo De Paul is scoring goals, I don't think there's anyone, any team on this side of the continent that could beat Inter Miami. Bad turnover for our Herons. Near side touchline, Hefty inching closer to the Inter Miami box, thwarted out of bounds. A throw-in. Hefty goes quick. He gets the ball right back from Jackson Hopkins. Now gets it to Hopkins. Mikael won the ball, but a foul called. Or rather, an out-of-bounds called, and it's going to be a throw-in. Mikael took, apparently the ball rolled out. I don't know about that one, folks. But 73-04, DC United with a throw into the box. Here is Markovic. It was a throw-in from Hefty to Markovic. And yes, this is going to be a corner kick presented by Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath. Representing injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. Taking the corner is Jackson Hopkins. Hopkins services it in. And a good clearance by Bertarame. Segovia on the other end of it now. On to Messi. What a brilliant pass by Messi. The Herons are on the run. Here is Bertarame and a bad pass. Oh, needed to take one more touch. He was looking for Tadio Allende, who was streaking. He immediately passed it when he got it, and he needed to take a touch. But thankfully, DC United turns it over. Ball rolls out of bounds. Going to be an Inter Miami throw-in near side touchline right at the midfield mark is Noah Allen. 74-06, 74-07. Inter Miami up 2-0 in Baltimore. Bad turnover by Segovia. Peglo on the run. Peglo plays on Hopkins. Hopkins shot, blocked, but a goal on the second turn. That's Ty Baribo on the Ricky rebound. What a luck show goal by DC United. Ty Baribo running the ball to the spot. Folks, it's 2-1. Dane St. Clair's clean sheet eviscerated. Bad luck for St. Clair. Good parry by Dane St. Clair, but the defenders were nowhere in sight. It was a bad turnover by Segovia off the throw-in. Peglo played on a streaking Hopkins. Hopkins with a brilliant strike, but St. Clair able to block it, but nobody home back stick, and Ty Baribo scores the easiest goal he'll score all year. It is the second goal for Ty Baribo this season. Baribo scored against the Philadelphia Union, his former team, the team he won the Supporters' Shield with last year. But that is the second goal of the season for DC United. Both of them scored by Baribo. We have a game, folks. Strap in the 75th minute. 2-1. Our Herons hanging on to a 1-goal lead. United is slapped on a press. And Falcone booted it, and it rolls out of bounds. Going to be DC United ball and a throw. 75-47, 75-48, 2-1. The Herons clinging on to a 1-goal lead. Here is Hefty, near side touchline for DC. He played on Hopkins. That one rolled to the Inter Miami defense. And now we have a foul. Ty Baribo is the man it's on. Baribo last year, 19 goals with Philadelphia across all competitions. He was the All-Star Game MVP, and he was traded to DC United this offseason and signed a 5-year deal. Falcone still on the ground. Head referee Felipe Ducic checking on our center back to see if he's okay. And we have a stoppage of play. Let's take 10 seconds for station identification on our Inter Miami radio network.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
A 75th minute goal by Ty Baribo, making this one interesting on the back nine of the game, or as we would say, in the dying embers of the game. 2-1, 77th minute. Our Herons clinging on to a 1-goal lead. Our goal scorers, Rodrigo DePaul and Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi has 899 goals scored in his career. His next goal will be 900. But right now, the story is Ty Baribo getting in the 75th minute and making this one interesting. 2-1, Messi, ball, far side touchline in DC territory. Lays it up for Allende. Allende recycles to the defense. Lionel Messi, the 2-time league MVP, the Golden Boot winner in last year's MLS competition. Our Inter Miami Herons, defending champions of the MLS Cup. Trying to see this one through to the end for their second victory of the year. Inter Miami passing it back and forth with their center backs in the defense. Now far side touchline. Messi and DePaul. Now to Moura. Messi with space. He's going to play on Allende. Allende's on. Far side touchline. Inching closer to the box. In DC territory. Backheel pass. Moura goes to ground. Is there a penalty call? There's not. Referee Felipe Ducic says play on. DePaul wins it. DePaul tried looking for Messi right outside of DC's box, but we're getting a replay here on the Facundo Moura taking the ground play, and I don't think there's anything there, sadly. Kurakawa did a good job of manning up with Moura, and Moura dove for all intents and purposes. Moura fell over his 2 feet. You got to stay on your feet there. Regardless, our Herons in a dangerous spot with a throw-in. Allende gets it, but a turnover. Allende got it off the throw-in, but an immediate turnover. Bartlett now for DC. He plays on Markovic. Markovic tried making a pass, deflected, wicked deflection, played on to Jackson Hopkins. Hopkins, strappy troki, tried doing way too much with that ball, but a bad turnover. DePaul hands in air. He was wondering where was everybody on his pass, but now DC United threatening again. Here is Peglo, stuck in by Mora. Good defense by Mora. Bertarame now to Messi. Messi with space. Far side touchline. Plays on Mora. Mora inching closer to DC's box. He'll lay it up to Leo. Leo cuts in. Lays it up to DePaul. DePaul at the midfield stripe. Far side touchline. He'll play it right at the midfield stripe to Mikael. Now near side touchline. Allen. Inter Miami probing from the midfield line. Here's Yannick Bright. 79-57, 79-58. Messi chants have erupted here at M&T Bank Stadium. 71,000 strong to see the greatest player of all time. Does he have goal number 900 to see this one through for our Herons? 80-16, 80-17. We're under 10 minutes until we get the allotted extra time from the referees. Maxi Falcone turnover. Him and Dane St. Clair not on the same page. Near side touchline throw in for DC. Played into Markovic. Here's Peltolo in a dangerous spot right outside of the box. He plays on Hefty. Hefty cross in. What a tackle by Mikael. Mikael plays it now. Inter Miami needs to clear it. They do. And now here's Segovia near side touchline. Inching to midfield. What a crazy sequence that was in the box. Hefty tried doing a low-driven grounder pass to Baribo, and it was good defense by Mikael. Folks, I apologize. The ball was up for a fight for what seemed like an eternity, but the ball ended up with our Herons near that near side touchline with Allen. Speaking of that near side touchline, here's Segovia in Inter Miami territory, cutting in. He goes to ground, and Filipe Ducic blows for a foul. That's going against Jackson Hopkins. And we have our next substitution for DC United. Clark is going to be subbing onto the pitch. Clark coming onto the pitch, and coming off is Jackson Hopkins. Caden Clark, the young attacker, subbing on in a big spot for DC. Hopkins ran his race. For all intents and purposes, he was gassed. He had heavy legs. It was actually a good move there by Renee Weiler. But Clark coming on for DC United in the dying embers of the game. 82-04, 82-05. Rodrigo DePaul. Now to Mikael. DePaul gets it back. Facundo Mora with a ton of space. He's got Messi near side touchline. Lays it up to him. Leo. Brilliant pass to DePaul. DePaul with a tremendous amount of space. Is Bertarame going to get there? And he doesn't. But he goes to ground, saves it from going out of bounds. Now a tackle made by the recently substituted Caden Clark. And we have an Inter Miami corner. Presented by Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath. For more than 35 years, they've been representing injured people and their families. Visit foryourrights.com, foryourrights.com. Herman Bertarame, he gets the Hustle of the Game award for me so far. Saved that from going out of bounds and was the sole reason Rodrigo DePaul was able to find the back of the net in the 17th minute. But 2-1, 83 minutes on the dot, 83 on the dot. Inter Miami leading 2-1. Rodrigo DePaul taking the corner. Left side corner, going to be a right foot in-swinger for DePaul. Head referee Filipe Ducic blows his whistle. Ty Baribo and Maxi Falcone getting into a bit of a scrum. Filipe Ducic having words for Peltola as well, the defensive midfielder for DC United. Now Rodrigo DePaul is signaling to Filipe Ducic that the DC United player, Kazuki Kurakama, is getting a little too close. DePaul takes it short, gets it back quickly. A header by Bertarame, and that one saved by Sean Johnson. Not enough mustard on that header, as now we have a foul. Facundo Mora climbed the back of Louis Montanol at the midfield stripe. Going to be a free kick as Filip Ducic says, yeah, you tried taking that free kick about 15 yards from where I allotted it. Get your butt back to midfield. 84-13, 84-14. Inter Miami up 1 goal. Free kick going to be taken by Hefty as now Maxi Falcone goes to the ground. Filip Ducic blows his whistle, and I think we're going to redo the whole song and dance on the free kick. Folks, I'll tell you what. Peltola and Hefty both have blonde hair, and I am at your mercy in trying to distinguish who is who. As Maxi Falcone takes Bartlett to ground, that pass was actually in from Hefty this time around. Falcone did take Bartlett to ground, by the way, and that's what you heard the screaming about, but it was never going to be a penalty. Never going to be a penalty. Mora edges off Louis Montanol off of the ball, and we're going to have a goal kick. We have a substitution, I believe, about to come on. Actually, no, I apologize. That's the announcer talking about the recently substituted. Now, it seems an eon ago, the last time our Inter Miami Herons had a goal, it was back in the 27th minute, the best player of all time, Lionel Messi, scored his 899th goal. And we've been patiently awaiting the 900th goal in this second half. But with 85-45, 85-46 left to go, Inter Miami up 2-1. I think the most important part now is seeing this game through. Ty Baribo had a Ricky rebound goal in the 75th minute. It was bad luck for Dane St. Clair, who did a good job parrying the initial shot from Jackson Hopkins. It was just one of those cleanup positions where, defense nowhere in sight and Baribo unmarked. Dane St. Clair boots it away. Fight for the ball at midfield. Exchange of headers. And now DC United has it. Big time switch from Hefty. Somehow, some way, folks. Clark ends up at the end of the ball, and he tries to make a pass to Montanol. And a good job by Maxi Falcone. That's a young player in a big spot. It's a young player in a big spot in Clark who just made the wrong pass. Should have shot it. He was one-on-one with Dane St. Clair. He tried getting it into Louis Montanol. But Clark should have equalized here in the second half. It is a corner kick, though, presented by Lytle Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. Visit foryourrights.com. For 35 years, Lytle Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath have been taking care of injured people and their families in South Florida. Now we have a substitute coming on for our Inter Miami Herons. This is going to be Gonzalo Luan. He's going to come on for Talasco Segovia. So head gaffer Javier Mescherano going defensive here in the dying embers of the game in the 87th minute. So Segovia off, Luan on. Candy bar the door Herons. Inter Miami trying to hang on to the 1-goal lead. Caden Curry going to be taking the corner. Waiting on the referee's whistle, folks, is I'll tell you what, Maxi Falcone and the attackers, they've been going at it on the defensive line all night. And even Lucas Bartlett, who's trying to get his big noggin on the end of the ball. Curry finally plays it in. Bad cross. Cleared by Mora, but right back to Clark. DC United still has it right outside of Inter's box. Crossing in is Peglo. Good block. Peglo ends up with it. Near side touchline, cross in by Kurikawa, and that's going to be a corner kick again for DC United, presented by Lytle Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. Visit For Your Rights. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath have been serving South Florida for over 35 years. 88-27, a minute and a half away from hearing the extra time. Peglo cross in and caught by Dane St. Clair. Good job by St. Clair. Good on him. DePaul trying to play on Bertarame, deflected out of bounds. Going to be a throw-in for Inter Miami. $88-53, $88-54. believe we might be having a late substitute coming on for DC United. I'll keep you guys updated. I see a gentleman putting on a shirt as bad throw into Bertarame, but Inter Miami ends up with it on a 50-50 ball. I say that, and it was a bad turnover by Bright. Peltoli playing into the near side touchline to Montanol, but won by Falcone. Falcone now, good pass to Bertarame. Bertarame taken down to ground. It's got to be a card. How isn't that a yellow card? Filip Ducic keeps his cards in his pocket, but a shocking tackle by Matty Peltola. Not even looking at the ball, and apparently WWE SmackDown is in town in Baltimore, but we're 10 seconds away from the allotted extra time. 89-54, 89-55. Inter Miami clinging on to a one-goal lead, and here is the substitution I was alluding to. Coming onto the pitch, or coming off the pitch, is Peltoli. I'll get you who came on in a second. Montanol, back heel pass to Curry. DC looking threatening. Curry goes to ground. No whistle. Still in the box is Markovic. Markovic now to Montanol. Montanol shot blocked. Falcone tracking. Falcone taking the ground. No whistle. Now we have a whistle. Falcone. Good job winning the ball by Maxi. Showing his emotion. We're trying to figure out what the call is. Jacob Muriel coming on for DC United, another substitute for DC. So it was Peltola coming off and Muriel coming on. And also coming off the pitch were the blonde-headed twins in Hefty. I had a real tough time distinguishing who the hell Hefty and Peltola were with the same haircut today. I am at your mercy on your Inter Miami radio network. But thankfully, they're subbed off. Messi with space. Plays on Bertarame. Bertarame shot blocked. Sean Johnson with a save. What a shot, though, by Bertarame. Messi now still has it right outside the penalty arc. Leo cuts in. Plays on Bertarame. Bertarame pass. And Rodrigo de Paul just sent it over the net. That was the game. No. De Paul sends it to the fifth row, and he knows he missed the golden opportunity. He immediately went hand in head. Or head in hands. Oh, God, sorry, folks. Fired up here. That was the game. That was the game. DePaul sent it to the fifth row. Brilliant setup by Lionel Messi and Herman Bertarame. 92-10, 92-11. By the way, 5 minutes of extra time presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Test drive the Q3 e-tron. Curry in the box, dangerous spot, deflected by Yannick Bright, and a corner kick. But 5 minutes of extra time presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Visit in person your local South Florida Audi dealer or go online, AudiUSA.com to learn more. You can learn more about all the great cars, or you can find your location here in South Florida. And trust me when I say this, test drive the brand new Q3 e-tron. 5 minutes of extra time presented by Audi. 92-47, 92-48. Caden Curry will take a right foot corner from the right side. Curry takes it on. Headed away by Mora. Montanol over it, cross in, header! Just wide. That was Kyle Rolls, the Australian, getting his big noggin on the other side of it, but thankfully rolled right out of bounds and past Dane St. Clair's left side post. 93-24, 93-25. 5 minutes of extra time. We have Messi chance at M&T Bank Stadium, a sold-out M&T Bank Stadium. Dane St. Clair sends it deep into DC territory. Header won by Bertarame. Messi tracking. Here is Hefty. Now to Curry. Back to Hefty. Near side touchline Curry. 93-48, 93-49. Inter Miami up 2-1. Hanging on to a one-goal lead. And that one rolls right out of bounds. It's going to be a Heron throw-in with 1 minute to play. I think head referee Philippe Ducic will probably give DC another minute and a half from some of the stoppages that we've had. But Inter Miami, I think, now can smell victory. Facundo Mora going to take the throw-in. Far side touchline. Bertarame to Allende. Ball won by DC. Here's Hefty. Hefty cuts in Inter Miami territory. Plays on Curry. Curry inching closer to Inter's box. 94-41. Back to Curry. Curry to Montano. Shot! And that one deflected by Mikael. DC still has it. Kurikawa to Peglo. Peglo cross in. Looking for Montano. Ball in the air. Bartlett. Won by Bright. And now a foul. That's going to go against Louis Montano. It's going to be an Inter Miami free kick with 95-15-16. We'll have to wait and see if head referee Philippe Ducic is going to honor the 5 minutes of extra time or if he's going to let DC get maybe another go at it. But it is going to be an Inter Miami free kick from my understanding. Montano had a dangerous right foot cross into the box. Maxi Falcone doing a good job getting the noggin on it. And then Peglo had another cross to Montano, but Noah Allen headed it. It goes to Bartlett. I don't know what Montano is so upset about. There's never going to be a whistle, mate. And now he gets up. Dane St. Clair kicks it off. And that is the final whistle. Inter Miami going to win this one in Baltimore versus the nation's capital 2-1. Lionel Messi, a 27th minute goal. Rodrigo De Paul, a 27th minute goal. Ty Baribo, the lone goal scorer for DC United. But what a win for our Herons. A gutsy win for Inter Miami where things were looking a bit like maybe our Herons weren't going to get the full three. But a full three on the road. We'll break it down on your postgame show. This is your Inter Miami Radio Network.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead. Ask the fans with a Modelo.
College basketball is heating up and the tournament is almost here. Don't let your home get caught off guard. Get ready now with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can get 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the court, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS has been the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today. Stay cool and be ready before the madness hits.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs. Automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation. Serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2026 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2026 Defender 110 P300S for just $899 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Brent Lessie, partner and tax leader of Anshin's Consumer Products Group.
Did you know the One Big Beautiful Bill Act has created unprecedented opportunities for founders? The $10 million exclusion has increased to $15 million, and the 5-year holding period is no longer an all or nothing hurdle. Founders now have the flexibility to raise capital and align their tax-free treatment over 3, 4, or 5 years. These changes include the higher asset ceiling and allow founders and investors to scale aggressively while capitalizing on this tax advantage. Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, prioritizes understanding founders' unique circumstances to achieve their goals. If you're a founder that doesn't want to leave money on the table, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Picture this: a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Let's get back to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Our Inter Miami Herons pick up a 2-1 victory on the road in Baltimore. It was M&T Bank Stadium where 71,000 fans came to see our Inter Miami Herons and Lionel Messi play a little football. Lionel Messi scoring a goal in the 27th minute. It was ultimately the goal that ended up doing in DC United. And Rodrigo De Paul actually opening up the scoring in the first half in the 17th minute. And as far as the lone goal for DC United, it was Ty Baribo. Baribo, the former Philadelphia Union man, was involved in that big-time trade from Philadelphia to DC. And this season, DC United has scored 2 goals in 3 fixtures, and Baribo has both goals. So little interesting note there. But our Herons getting all 3 points on the road. Let's take a listen to the goals. Appreciate my buddy back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach, keeping us up over the airwaves. Cade Chumslin cutting these up for us. Cade, let's hear Rodrigo De Paul open up the scoring in the first half.
Germán Berterame with a nice win of the ball. Telasco Segovia lays it up to DePaul. DeMonte's got a shot. Goal! Rodrigo DePaul with a fantastic strike on the ball. What an effort by Germán Berterame to set all that up. But Rodrigo DePaul with his first goal of the season. Inter Miami up 1-0 in the nation's capital in the 17th minute.
Can't stress enough how important it was for Germán Berterame on that goal. He won the ball from defender Kyle Bartlett, and Bartlett was trying to escort that ball out of bounds. He was trying to escort the ball out of bounds and get that goal kick, but Berterame finessed him, got around him, got that pass to Segovia. Segovia found Rodrigo DePaul, and it was a fantastic strike by DePaul for the goal. And then let's hear Lionel Messi doing Lionel Messi things. Goal 899 for Lionel Messi right here. An assist from Matteo Silvetti, a chip shot. Silvetti plays on Messi. Beautiful ball. Leo shot. Goal! Goal! Lionel Messi with the chippy shot in the back of the net. That is goal number 899. Lionel Messi is one goal away from 900 career goals in the 27th minute. Inter Miami up 2-0. Brilliant pass from Matteo Silvetti and a brilliant chip shot goal by Lionel Messi. 2-0 Inter Miami in Baltimore. Like I said, that goal being the ultimate difference because Ty Baribo would find the back of the net. I was a bit of a poor sport here. Luck show, Ricky rebound, truly what it was, though. It was a good parry by Dane St. Clair, who I think has had a couple of unlucky moments throughout Inter Miami this season being the new goalkeeper. This was an unlucky moment for Dane St. Clair, who parried the initial shot by Jackson Hopkins. But let's listen to the Ricky rebound goal by Ty Baribo. Peglo plays on Hopkins. Hopkins shot, blocked, but a goal on the second turn. That's Ty Baribo on the Ricky rebound. What a luck show goal by DC United. Ty Baribo running the ball to the spot. Folks, it's 2-1. Dane St. Clair's clean sheet eviscerated. It was a good it was a good parry, man. It was a good stop by Dane St. Clair. Very unlucky for Baribo being running unmarked like that. And like I said, Baribo, man, it was a big-time acquisition by DC United in the offseason, trading for him from Philadelphia, signing him to a 5-year deal. He's someone that is involved in the future of DC United, and I think we're starting to see why. 2 goals in 3 games for Ty Baribo. But Inter Miami able to hold out in that second half, see that game through, and win this one 2-1. Let's take a timeout. When we come back, we'll preview where we think Lionel Messi is going to be scoring his 900th goal in his career. Because it might not be in an MLS fixture. It might be in a CONCACAF Champions Cup fixture. I'll explain when we come back. Once again, Mike Rizzo, voicing the Inter Miami Herons with you. Oscar Gonzalez, my OG on-site producer, keeping us over the airwaves here at M&T Bank Stadium. And then back at the ranch, Cade Chumsland. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey, ref, timeout, man. All right, team, we're only down by 5. We can still win this. Grab some water and get back out there. Whoa, not that water. You need Culligan water. With the free water test and advanced reverse osmosis purification system, Culligan helps reduce contaminants, delivering cleaner, safer, better tasting water. Enjoy 12 months interest-free. Schedule your free test today at Culligan.com. Serving all of South Florida, residential or commercial.
Hey, Culligan Man!
Hi, I'm Janice Ridenour from J. Zello & Associates. For nearly 30 years, my firm has worked alongside business owners and their teams, helping them truly understand QuickBooks with clear accounting guidance, proven workflows, and hands-on training. We offer customized QuickBooks Online training delivered in a supportive, judgment-free environment so you can learn at your pace. If you're stressed about your books, you don't have to be. Get trained, get confident, get it right. And when you need ongoing support or you'd rather have it done for you, our experienced team is here to help. Visit jzolo.com and schedule your free consultation today.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Hey, it's Tina. Okay, let's be real. When you need tires or a battery, you want someone you can actually trust, right? That's why I go to St. Lucie Battery and Tire. They've been keeping South Florida moving for over 50 years, and they're still family owned. They've got all the big tire brands, plus batteries for pretty much everything. Their best price out the door guarantee means you know you're getting the best deal. So next time your car needs something, don't stress. Just go to St. Lucie Battery and Tire, slbt.com. Trust me, they've got you covered.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2026 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2026 Defender 110 P300S for just $899 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
College basketball is heating up and the tournament is almost here. Don't let your home get caught off guard. Get ready now with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can get 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the court, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS has been the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSisyes.com today. Stay cool and be ready before the madness hits.
The pink smoke is in the air. This is the Inter Miami postgame show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Inter Miami winners 2-1 in Baltimore versus the nation's capital, DC United. Lionel Messi scoring goal number 899, 899 goals in Lionel Messi's career. We are patiently waiting goal number 900. I mentioned that the next goal Messi scores probably isn't going to be an MLS play because CONCACAF Champions Cup action is returning for our Inter Miami Herons coming up this Wednesday. Nashville will be hosting the Herons Wednesday, March 11th at 7:30. Now, we will not be airing the CONCACAF Champions Cup matchups, but we will be back here with you next Saturday, the 14th. So Charlotte will be hosting our Inter Miami Herons on March the 14th. But where I think Messi is going to get goal number 900 is going to come in Nashville. Leo has been in form. He's been playing great. And he scored in the last 2 games. Messi's got 3 goals in his last 2 games. Now, nobody scored against LAFC in the 3-0 rout, but our Herons have been winners of 2 games in a row, and Messi has 3 goals in those 2 games. So my best guess, folks, is that Lionel Messi is going to be scoring a goal and making it 900 coming up on Wednesday, March 11th. And those are the next couple of pictures and a look ahead for our Inter Miami Herons. When we come back, folks, we'll wrap things up on your Inter Miami Radio Network.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Hi, I'm Janice Ridenour from J. Zello & Associates. For nearly 30 years, my firm has worked alongside business owners and their teams, helping them truly understand QuickBooks with clear accounting guidance, proven workflows, and hands-on training. We offer customized QuickBooks Online training delivered in a supportive, judgment-free environment so you can learn at your pace. If you're stressed about your books, you don't have to be. Get trained, get confident, get it right. And when you need ongoing support or you'd rather have it done for you, our experienced team is here to help. Visit jzillow.com and schedule your free consultation today.
College basketball is heating up and the tournament is almost here. Don't let your home get caught off guard. Get ready now with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can get 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the court, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS has been the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today. Stay cool and be ready before the madness hits.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2026 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2026 Defender 110 P300S for just $899 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985 and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
The pink smoke is in the air. This is the Inter Miami postgame show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Let's take a look at a couple of other fixtures going on around the MLS, presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Visit AudiUSA.com to learn more. Folks, say yes to the S Life. Say yes to that brand new Audi Q3. Visit AudiUSA.com to learn more. So, match day number 3. Match day number 3. Let's go through your scoreboard. NYCFC defeated Orlando City 5-0. Our Inter Miami Herons winning in Baltimore 2-1. And games still to be played. The 7:30 slate, you have Atlanta and Real. You have Charlotte and Austin. Columbus. I'll tell you what, the Columbus Crew struggling a bit to find their footing. They're facing off against the fellow struggling Chicago Fire. The Union taking on San Jose, Nashville and Minnesota, Sporting Kansas City and San Diego. And then we get into the 8:30 nightcaps, St. Louis and Seattle, Colorado and the Galaxy. And then the 10:30 nightcaps, MLS After Dark, LAFC and FC Dallas, and the Portland Timbers and Vancouver. Let's take a look at that MLS table. Actually, before we do that, we do have Sunday fixtures. The New York Red Bulls will be hosting Montreal, and then FC Cincinnati will be hosting Toronto. If we take a look at the MLS table right now, in first place, NYCFC 2-1-0. Still the play to possibly go to 3-0 is the New York Red Bull. But our Inter Miami Herons sitting in third place, 2-0-1. So Inter Miami climbing up the ranks in the Eastern Conference. The next time we will talk to you on our Inter Miami Radio Network will be coming up on the 14th, March the 14th. It'll be Charlotte and our Herons. We will be live in Charlotte for that fixture coming up as Charlotte will be hosting our Inter Miami Herons. I can't thank enough my OG and friend, on-site producer Oscar Gonzalez, my head spotter, my lead man here with me on site. Appreciate Oscar and appreciate my good buddy Kate Chumsland back at the ESPN 106.3 studios, making sure we're staying up over the airwaves. Like I said, we'll catch up with you on your Inter Miami Radio Network coming up March the 14th. Our Inter Miami Herons big winners 2-1 in the fixture, this recent fixture against DC United. Lionel Messi scoring goal number 899. We're patiently awaiting 900. I personally think it's going to be happening in CONCACAF Champions Cup action. Signing off on your Inter Miami Radio Network. It's been Mike Rizzo. It's been a pleasure. We'll catch up with you next time. Bye.
A change in plans? Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer is always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation